Hey guys, this is going to be a quick and easy stream. I'm just going to go over some builds because there's a lot out there, but I'm going to show you mine. I got quite a few of them for different styles of play. We're going to start with my James, and this is my quiet build. First, quick and quiet. You do not make much noise, and others when quickly vaulting over obstacles or hiding in lockers. The vault, hide, action, noise detection, and audio range is reduced by 100%, meaning it's completely quiet. And it can only be triggered every 15 seconds, which really is OP. Light-footed. Basically, your footsteps are silent. This perk goes on cooldown for 10 seconds after performing a rushed action. So, you fast vault or exit a locker fast, it goes on cooldown. Basically, there's no audio to your running if you're healthy. Distortion, this is one of my favorite perks. It's overpowered as frig. Basically, distortion starts with 1 token. When your aura would be red, distortion activates and consumes a token for the next 12 seconds. Your aura and scratch marks will not be shown to the killer. For each 15 seconds spent in chase, you regain 1 token, up to 2. This effect cannot trigger while in the dying state. Basically, anytime you run into an aura reader killer, it fucks them over pretty good, especially if you're good at being chased, taking chase and escaping. And these perks will help you with that, especially the next one, Deception. Let's say you need to gain your 2 tokens real quick. Then you're ready to get the hell out of that chase. Deception, interacting with the locker while running or sprinting, will trigger a loud notification noise at the location and cause you to leave no scratch marks for 5 seconds. Plus, light-footed, meaning they can't hear your footsteps. They're going to think you're in that locker. Surprisingly, a lot more killers fall for this perk than not. It's pretty easy to do that. Plus, you can combine it with quick and quiet and fast vault into another locker. Say there's a 2 walls, there's one going that angle and one going that angle. You deceive with one locker and you run on the other side and they didn't see it. You jump in the locker real quick silently. They're lost. It's very rare that they'll keep checking lockers. And there's also other perks that will help you. I'm going to give an example. Parental guidance. I'll pull that up real quick. Basically, parental guidance makes it where after you stun a killer by any means, your scratch marks and pools of blood and your grunts are hidden for 7 seconds. So you could also combine or mix these perks with, for example, head on. You can jump to a locker quietly after deceiving someone while also having light-footed. Get rid of distortion, or you could switch light-footed and distortion out for parental guidance and head on. So you deceive them, jump into a locker quietly. Then if they get in front of you, head on them, and you'll stun them, activating parental guidance, hiding your scratch marks, pools of bloods, and grunts of pain for an additional 7 seconds. You're gone, baby. You're out of here. So there's a good one for that. We got a new viewer. I recommend you scroll back time and check out these I just did. But moving on for now. Oh, crap. Connection loss. Love that. Moving on to the next build. I call this the bullshit build. So basically, you don't get no more bullshit than this build. Every killer hates it. Boil over and flip flop. Those are the biggest ones. Flip flop. While in the dying state, 50% of your recovery progress is converted into wiggle progress. When you are picked up by the killer, alright. So up to a maximum of 50% of your wiggle progress. Let's say you fully heal. Half of the wiggle progress is already gone. And if you're upstairs, dear God, I hope you're upstairs, and make him drop down. Boil over makes it very hard for a killer without I'm blanking. Basically, Iron Grasp. Alright, Iron Grasp, yep. The killer are increased by 8, or the struggle effects against the killer is increased by 80%, meaning it's going to throw him around a lot. You obscure the killer's ability to see hooks within 16 meters, meaning they may not see a hook and take you even further. And I mentioned being up high earlier. You gain an additional 33% of wiggle progress when the killer drops from great heights. So, like the church map or the asylum map, you're up top. Most of the time, they're not going to take the steps. They're going to drop down one of the holes. You're basically free if you're up in the up top there. But this may cause them to, you know, a lot of killers won't even fuck someone with boil over, because usually you have flip flop also. Tenacity, your ferocity tenacity is dire situations. Man, I cannot speak. Allows you to, while in the dying state, have 50% haste and regain recovery progress while crawling. So basically, you crawl a lot faster, 50% faster, and you can recover while you're moving, which you can't do naturally. When you're in the dying state, your aura cannot be read by the killer, and grunts of pain are reduced by 75%, meaning you're pretty quiet, not indefinitely, but you can still be heard from somewhere. And that will combine with flip-flop, making your progress, your total progress, go up more, and boil over. Plus, with the drop down, that just makes it almost impossible for them to hook you, honestly, especially if you're up high. Now, if the killer has Iron Grasp, they have a decent chance, but still, they get screwed if they have to drop down sometimes. Now, these 3 perks together most likely is going to make it where they won't fucking touch you. So, you can use Unbreakable to get back up once per trial. Plus, it increases your dying recovery speed by 35%, making flip-flop even more effective and boil over more effective if they do pick you up, on top of tenacity. So, bullshit build. Basically, you're not getting hooked. You might get slugged, but you're not getting hooked, most likely, unless they have Iron Grasp. Not saying it's impossible, but this will increase your survival odds by a lot. They're going to slug you and leave you down, and this progress is just going to keep you down. Someone runs by and picks you up real quick. It will make the hooking progress so much easier if you do it this way. Basically, they're going to have to slug everyone, and if they do, you have Unbreakable. Now, you can separate Unbreakable for David King's perk. No Mither. There are one con to having no Mither instead of Unbreakable. You're broken for the whole entire trial, but you don't leave pools of blood, and you can't be heard when you're injured. Plus, your recovery speed does increase by 25% instead of 35%. So you can run no Mither, but you're gonna get slugged, and you only get the one hit. I recommend Unbreakable unless you are good enough to do no Mither. I'm not. I'm a veteran, but I'm not a pro, and I'm not gonna bullshit you. Next, we have my strong but stealthy build. You'll see I mentioned this one earlier. Actually, this is probably one of my main builds. Distortion, OP. We already talked about that. It makes it where they can't read your aura. Parental guidance. After staying the killer by any means necessary. Your pain and your blood and your pain is hidden for 7 seconds. Deception, head on. We already talked about that. But I do want to mention back over here, light-footed. They cannot hear your footsteps. There is a technique where if a killer is kicking a pallet, you blind them. And when they break that pallet, They can't hear your footsteps. Plus, if you have parental guidance, we're gonna get back to parental guidance. Stunning them for, you know, they can't see your scratch marks for 7 seconds. There is this technique, so basically a flashlight build, or, you know, use Lightfoot and parental guidance. Even champion and light would be great, but you want to make it where they can't see your scratch marks. They break that pallet, you can actually run past them while they're blind, and they won't hear your footsteps. And they're gonna assume you ran away instead of running past them while they're blind. And that's an easy way to escape. Always do that if you can. Our medic build, it really don't get no better than this if you want to be a medic. There are a couple of things you can trade out. I will pull up a few examples. Alright, honestly, I don't even fuck with a med kit unless I need to do self-healing. First off, we have Solidarity. One of the most overpowered perks in the whole entire game. When you're healing a survivor without using a med kit, it also heals you 70% of the conversion rate. Meaning, if you fully heal someone, you're going to be 70% healed as well. And they can heal you back real quick. Now, that doesn't sound too overpowered until you throw in the other perks. Empathic Connection. Whenever another survivor is injured, they can see your aura. You heal other survivors 35% faster. This basically made a different perk useless, where you could see injured survivors. I don't think it gave you a bonus or anything. I think no, that's self-care. But we're not even going to worry about that because that other perk is useless. Botany Knowledge. Healing speed is increased by 50%. On top of the 35%, that makes it 85% faster. And if you unhook a motherfucker, well, that gives you an additional 100% speed increase for 90 seconds. So with these three perks combined, that is a combination of 185% increase in speed for healing. It'll take you like 2 seconds to fucking heal them, maybe 3. And it gives you 70% conversion rate. So if you heal 2 people, because there's 2 people injured and you're in a little healing party, you'll get yourself healed automatically. Just make sure if you have Solidarity, you make it clear to your teammates not to heal you. You'll heal them. Now there are other perks that we can replace Solidarity with, or we'll make it with. You know, we have, let's see. Resurgence are a really good perk. You can replace Solidarity with Resurgence. I don't recommend it, but you gain 70% healing progress instantly after being unhooked or unhooking yourself. Really good fucking perk. But Sloppy Butcher's gonna knock that one down a peg or two. Alright, you can always use self-care, but it's really not that great unless you're really good at looping and you can just tap yourself here and there. I've seen some people really make it work. Alright, we got Leader. You can increase other survivors' healing, sabotage, unhooking, cleansing, open gate, and chest unlocking speeds by 30% if they're within 10 meters of you. That's an OP perk, especially for another build I'm going to mention. We also have, where is Resilience? Resilience can be replaced with Solidarity, grants you an additional 9% while healing and everything else. I think they're about to nerf it and take away repair speed and exit gate speed, which is going to suck. Alright. Now we're going to move on to Just Leave. Is what I call it, Just Leave. Basically, this is an exit gate build. And it helps you with other stuff. Resilience, I just mentioned it. Grants 9% additional speed when repairing, sabotaging, healing, unhooking, vaulting, cleansing or blessing a totem, opening exit gates, and unlocking while injured. So if you're hurt, you get an additional 9% speed out of all that shit. Really useful perk. Probably one of the most overpowered perks in the whole game. Especially if you're good at looping. And that vaulting really helps while you're injured. Soul Survivor. Every time a fellow survivor is killed or sacrificed, you gain a token. For each token, your aura cannot be read by the killer within a max range of 24 meters. You also gain an additional 75% action speed when repairing generators and 50% action speed while opening the exit gate or hatch if you are the last survivor alive. It also increases your chances of being the killer's obsession, which you can combine with other obsession builds. Spine Chill. An unnatural tingle warms you of impending doom. Basically, you got spider senses. And it can be an OP perk. If you pay enough attention to it, you don't need to use it just for the perk. You can use it to know if the killer is walking your way, because it activates. You can see it activate, like visually see the perk activate. Alright, if the killer is looking at you with a clear line of sight within 36 meters, your speed, while repairing, sabotaging, healing, unhooking, cleansing, blessing, and opening the exit gate and unlocking is increased by 6%. If the killer isn't looking at you, you still have half a second of the usage, the effects stay. So, pretty OP perk if you can use it right. Wake Up, basically 12.5% faster for each survivor that's still alive opening the exit gates. So, you want to be the one opening the exit gates. And then especially if one of your friends has leader, oh my god. You open that exit gate like it's nothing. It don't matter if that killer's coming at you. Spine Chill's going to help you out right there. Save them. This is my saver build. This is what I use to save my friends when I play with survival friends. So I'm not really looking into doing Jennies unless I have to. And I combine it with, not that, Alex's Toolbox. Hacksaw Cutting Wire. Increases sabotage speed by 20% and 30%. So you got 50% increase on top of 100% sabotage speed right there. So it's already at 150. You get about 3 or 4 uses of sabotage with that. Petrified Oak. You want to make it where the entity slightly increases the distance between hooks, meaning they're further apart from each other. This does not, absolutely does not work all the time. Sometimes it's really great, but like indoor maps, like, I don't know, Midwich, you might as well just kiss this goodbye. Saw map, it's useless. But if you get that chance, Saboteur, it's a last resort perk when it comes to sabotaging, but it also unlocks the ability to see hooks without a toolbox. You can sabotage a hook without a toolbox. It takes 2.3 seconds, so you get the opportunity. But you can also see the hooks, so even when you have the toolbox, that makes it super useful. Let's see, Bond. This, oh my god, talk about OP perks. When it comes to saving, this is a must-have perk. It unlocks the potential in one's aura reading ability. Allies' auras are revealed to you when they are within 36 meters of range. You want to set up for a flashbang or a flashlight save, there you go. Do it. You don't even need a flashbang, dude. Honestly, you don't. You can replace it with a flashlight up here and use that Renato. Oh, shoot. Ren. What was that perk called? Yeah, background player. Oh my god! If you can't use a flashbang worth of shit, or even with a flashbang, you can replace head on if you need to, but we'll get to head on next. With Bond, flashbang, Saboteur, a toolbox or a flashlight, it don't fucking matter, dude. Background player activates for 10 seconds when a killer picks up another survivor. When you start running, you gain 50% haste for 5 seconds. Get in front of that killer, throw down that flashbang, throw in that flashlight, or get to that hook. Stab that hook, save that motherfucker. Hopefully they don't drop them and you get that save right there. Here's a great head-on. It's good with almost any build, but it goes with the save perk, or not save perk, but save build no matter what. Let's say that we get that bullshit killer, and you know, I'm gonna say bullshit killer, I'm one of them sometimes, Lightborn. Flashbang, flashlight is out of the question. Maybe they got Lightborn and they have Starstruck, meaning you don't want to fucking risk stabbing sometimes if they got Starstruck. Get someone in front of a locker or try to deceive them, jump in a locker and save your friend who parks their ass in front of a locker. As soon as that killer's able to move, I don't care if it's 0.5 seconds, smack that bitch, save your friend. We already talked about those. We're gonna walk over to my Steve boy. By the way, I cosplay as Steve in the sailor suit sometimes. The Scoots Ahoy outfit. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Nope. Nope. Yep. Alright, so this is just one of my builds. I'll go over it. I'm not saying it's a master build by any means. It's something I'm trying out. Still sight. After not moving for 2 seconds, this perk activates. Until you start moving, you see the killer, the aura of the killer, as well as all generators and chests within 24 meters. So, honestly, you can use this with Left Behind, so you can find the hatch or clairvoyance. Try and get a peek on the killer. I'll make a build real quick. Alright, we'll go over these perks real quick and then I'll switch it up for you. Wiretap. This is great for looping, especially if you're not good at looping. I recommend if you are bad at looping but you don't want to play customs for obvious reasons. And if you ask me why the fuck obvious reasons, I'll go ahead and tell you, so you ain't gotta ask. A lot of people don't like to play customs because they want to build up their blood points and get their characters better. Now, there's nothing wrong with custom games because you can use all these perks. All of them. But Wiretap activates after you complete 40% worth of repairing generators. Alright, you basically hit the activation and the wiretap will stay for 120 seconds. You can see the killer's aura within 14 meters of the generator. Their aura is revealed to all survivors. Wiretap deactivates if the generator is damaged or if it runs out within the 120 seconds. No big deal. A lot of times the killer's gonna try and chase you and mind game you. They cannot mind game you if you can see their aura at Shack. There's other great potential locations like generators there around some L walls or a bunch of walls. You can mind game the crap out of them as long as they don't kick that Jenny. I would say it's cheating, but if they kick the Jenny, then you know. Babysitter, this is a great fucking perk. When you unhook a survivor, they won't leave scratch marks or pools of blood, and they gain a 10% haste status effect for 30 seconds. You can also see the killer's aura for 8 seconds. It's an aura build. That's why I have this. Distortion, we already went over that. It hides your aura. But I made it where I can see the auras. Now, Left Behind unlocks potential in one's aura reading ability. You can see the hatch. If the hatch is available, you can see it within 32 meters. You can use this or you can use Clairvoyance. Honestly, I recommend Left Behind. A lot of people prefer Clairvoyance. No judgment, however you want to go. Clairvoyance is the same thing, but it has a lot further range. The issue is you have to throw your item down to use it, and you have to cleanse a totem to be able to activate it. No big deal. I honestly don't need Clairvoyance. I usually get the hatch if I use Left Behind. It's really not that deep to me. And like I said, I'm not one of the best players in the world. I'm just experienced. Alright. Also, another perk to use with those two, if you want to use Steel Sight, Left Behind, which is not on this list because I'm not switching up my build, but Steel Sight, Left Behind, which is what I just talked about, plus Low Profile. Low Profile, when you become the last survivor standing, this perk activates. Hide your scratch marks, pools of blood, and grunts of pain caused by injuries for 90 seconds. Basically, they can't see your scratch marks for 90 seconds if you're the last person alive. The hatch is up. You can use Clairvoyance. You can use Left Behind. And you could even, use Steel Sight to try and get a lock on the killer, which you don't need to. I also recommend using Lithe to get away real quick if you need to. Lithe, I can't pronounce it. Lithe. After performing a rush to vault, you gain 50% haste for 3 seconds. So say that you're using those 3 perks I just mentioned, Steel Sight, Left Behind, and Clairvoyance, or Left Behind. Did I say Left Behind already? Steel Sight, Left Behind, or Clairvoyance, and Low Profile, plus Lithe. You get the 50% haste. You can get the fuck away from and look for that hatch, and you can see where the killer is. That's a really good in-game build. Like I said, I'm not replacing these because I use this one. Oh look! I just went over these. I got the build right here. That's Lucky Star though. But basically you can use this instead of Low Profile. When you hide in a locker, exiting locker, you would have 30 seconds instead of the 90 seconds. And Distortion hides your aura just in case. Yep. Alright, that's save build. Alright. I talked about this earlier. I said you can use Champion of Light. I didn't really go over this one. Smash Hit's great though. After stunning the killer with the pallet, gain 50% haste for 4 seconds. So you get that. It's a haste, or not haste, but an exhaustion perk. So you don't really want to combine it with another exhaustion perk. For example, Life or Head On, but Head On's fine because of parental guidance. Basically, you stun the killer, it hides your scratch marks for 7 seconds. This one gives you 50% haste for 4 seconds. Plus you stun them, so you quick getaway. Or, you know, you stun them, flash them with a flashlight. Champion Light will give you an additional 50% haste while you're flashing the light. But if you successfully blind them, they also are hindered by 20% for 6 seconds. The perk has a 40-second cooldown. So basically, they're hindered for 20 seconds. Smash Hit if you combo the pallet. 50% haste for 4 seconds. And parental guidance, 7 seconds of hiding your scratch marks. You're fucking out of there. It don't matter. They ain't catching up to you. They're gonna give up on you for a little bit. This was one of my favorite builds, but they nerfed Lucky Star. Used to, when you jumped out of the locker, it also hid your scratch marks, which it does not do that anymore. It got nerfed. That sucks. So I would head on Lucky Star. I had Deception, Quick and Quiet. It was a great build. We ain't got to talk about that no more. But this concludes the video for now. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope you test out some of these builds. Like I said, not all of them are master builds, but some of them, like the medic build, are god tier. You You gotta check them out. Have a great day. Bye.